What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 201. And we start today's episode off with Chopper Harris saying cheers for all the first team football I'm getting. I'll be doing my best, boss. And Harris this season has actually grown 3 ratings since we came in January. And you would have noticed as well through the training, he's not been trained once. It's all been natural growth, which is really nice to see. He's just 22 years old. He's well on his way to hitting 90 overall. And when you combine the goals he scored before we came in and the goals he scored post Doc's era, if you want to know what we post Doc's era, the current Doc's era, if you will, at Sheffield United, he's got 24 goals in 51 games, and the man is just on fire. Huge reason as to why right now we do still sit in the top 4 in the Premier League, but look at how tight it is right now in the race for Champions League football. Just 5 points separate 4th to 8th, and we are just 2 points clear of Chelsea right now with just a few games to go. We do have destiny in our own hands, but there are some big fixtures to come, and I am taking nothing for granted whatsoever. So, first game of today's episode away on the South Coast, take on Eddie Howe's Bournemouth here, as we go in search of a return to winning ways on the back of our defeat away at the Veltins Arena against Schalke in the Europa League quarter-final tie in Germany. Despite losing that game, we did make it through to the tie. We're into the semi-finals. You see the first leg today in the third game of today's episode away in Germany against Wolfsburg. But taking on Bournemouth here, we've actually been on quite a poor run of form with Sheffield United. Just 2 wins in our last 5 games in all competitions, and it does seem as though since we've won the EFL Cup, we've began to start slipping up quite frequently. You know, we got knocked out of the FA Cup, we lost that last game to Schalke, even though we did make it through the tie. We've had a couple of draws thrown into the mix as well. We haven't been exactly at our best in recent weeks. Heading into this game, struggling once again, just couldn't really create chances, but 5 minutes past the hour mark, we got ourselves our first proper one of the game, and it couldn't have fallen to a better person. Ivan Toney stops on a dime, turns to covering defender and smacks it in with the weaker left foot. And yeah, I know that Harris is the future, don't get me wrong, and right now he's playing like he's good enough to be a star in the present, but Ivan Toney is still the main man in this Sheffield United team. You know, at some point he is going to take a reduced role. At some point, he is going to be coming off the bench. When that happens, I don't know. But for now, he's continuing to bang them in and be the hero we need. So, Sheffield United lead by a goal. Big save there by Sam Hill, as it was still 1-0. And then the 75th minute, well, I must say this. Whilst Ivan Toney's been fantastic since coming in January, gotta keep singing the praises of this man, Nicholas Wilson. Has been extraordinary since we signed him from Hoffenheim, and I got so lucky there. I was dilly-dallying with Todibo, being a little bit cocky, surrendered possession. It was a one-on-one chance there as Wilson was the only man back, but he stood him up perfectly, made the tackle, and the danger was cleared. So, final score, Bournemouth 0, Sheffield United 1. Wilson, again, an absolute monster, man. I absolutely love this guy, and again, a big victory for us there. Not exactly our best performance, but this is the most important thing we need to remind ourselves. Whilst we're not exactly playing our best football right now, we're still getting the results we need to stay in the top 4, and of course we're into the Europa League Final 4 as well. 5 games to go, now 5 points clear of Chelsea, 7 clear of Watford, and 8 clear of Arsenal right now. I still believe the Hornets and the Gunners can catch up, but you would say that realistically, the best 2 chances of finishing in that 4th place are us and Chelsea right now. But again, Chelsea are going to need at least 2 slip-ups by us in the last 5 games in order for them to overtake us and qualify for the Champions League. We know we can afford 1 more defeat between now and the end of the season in order to finish in 4th place, but we'd rather not go through the anguish, if you will, of taking it to the final day. I'd rather be confirmed as in the Champions League with games to spare. Still, for our second of 3 games in today's episode, we will now take on Spurs here in midweek at Bramall Lane. We went in search of back-to-back victories here for the first time in a few games. And a free kick was won just 6 minutes in, which Elliot Harris would take 24 yards from goal. But, I mean, is there any point in me even showing free kick highlights these days? I believe that one day I will score one in this series, but I'm starting to run out of that belief, you know. I mean, I also believe I'll be rich one day. I'm starting to believe that. I'm starting to lose belief in that as well. So, easy save for the goalkeeper there. It's still 0-0, but in the 17th minute, Spurs would take the lead in front of the travelling fans and get themselves the goal. It was Sergi Camelo, who, of course, we sold to Spurs when we were manager of Atletico Madrid. We sold in Tottenham Hotspur, I believe, in the same window when we joined, at Madrid, and Carmelo punishes me for selling him by making it 1-0 to Spurs there, as I surrendered possession in my half, and unlike against Bournemouth, I couldn't make the challenge to stop the chance. Carmelo scores to cut back, makes it 1-0, and Spurs take the early lead. But just before the break, a chance to get back on level terms, and we would do just that. And it was Elliot Harris who got the goal. His 25th of the season in all competitions, and I've got to say as well for the goal too, Jayden Bogle, really important signing. He's been since Liverpool in January. Storms down the right hand side, cuts in from the flank there, and rolls it across to Harris. And he just waited, Bogle, for Harris to have all the time and space he needed. Once the covering defender came across, he was totally alone, and Harris has the easiest of finishes. And really, that's what I often find is the easiest thing to do when attacking from the flank. Just be patient. Don't whip a cross in straight away. Just be patient, wait for a man to be free in the area. But Bogle finds him there, and Harris makes it 1-1. So tied heading into the break, but 4 minutes after the restart, Carmelo bags his brace and Spurs retake the lead. Down left-hand side, whipping across to the centre, and we saw it just a couple episodes ago. Those crosses to the box, they are so hard to defend on this new patch. Spurs make it 2-1, and they restore the lead through that man Carmelo once again. We had a chance to get back on level terms again though. Elliot Harris, this was glorious. Lovely mazy run there by the 22-year-old, but unfortunately the chip was easily saved by the goalkeeper, as it was still 2-1. But again, on the hour mark here, as Spurs attack down left-hand side with another former player, Icone, he rolls it through to Santimina, plays a 1-2, cross comes in and rolls at the back stick, makes it 3-1. And again, it's those crosses, they are just so hard to defend on this new patch. It seems like so many of the goals I concede come from crosses down the flanks there. And you know, Spurs could have played that ball into the centre there after Icone and Santimina were attacking down the left together, but they just knew, whip the cross into the centre and we won't have much chance stopping it. We didn't. Spurs double the lead, make it 3-1. And that is how the game would finish. Final score, Sheffield United 1, Spurs 3. And what did I say pre-game? We can afford at least one more slip-up between now and the end of the season. But I didn't want this. I certainly didn't. Because after the game, as you can see, whilst Watford might have lost to Newcastle, Chelsea beat West Ham and Arsenal beat Wolves by 4-1 away at Molineux. So, as you can see by the table, after Chelsea end up playing one more game than us, we've now dropped down to 5th place. 4 games to go, we're into 5th place, 1 point behind Chelsea in 4th right now, 4 clear of Watford in 6th place. However, we do have a game in hand on Chelsea, and if we win that, we'll go back into the top 4. But due to the goal difference swing right now, a draw isn't going to be enough. And this is why, whilst we could have afforded a defeat, I really didn't want it, because now it means, between now and the end of the season, 4 games remaining, we will probably need to win all 4 of our final Premier League matches in order to finish in the top 4. Massive defeat to Spurs there, and again, the shaky run of form continues. Just 3 wins in our last 6 games, and I must say at the moment, I'm starting to worry that we're running out of steam right towards the end of the season when it matters most. These are the crucial moments of the season where you need to be at your best and you need to be in good form. Unfortunately for Sheffield United, it's the other way around. We're into pretty bad form right now, all things considered, and we have lost our place in the top 4, and, well, of course, we're at the FA Cup as well, and now for the Europa League semi-finals, taking on Wolfsburg here away in Germany for the first leg. We're taking on, you would probably say, the favourites to win this competition after their demolition job of Lyon in the quarterfinals when they thrashed the French side by 7-0. So this, of course, is going to be the first leg here away in Germany. We needed to get a couple of away goals tonight and hopefully win this game as well and put an end to our shaky patch of form. So right from the first whistle, that was my focus. Stay in attack mode. You saw a couple of legs ago against Spurs in around the 16. We made it through that tie on away goals, and I said it so many times, I'll say it again, those away goals, that's what you want in the first leg when you're playing away from home. So right from the first whistle, we are in attack mode, looking for the opening goal. First we hit the post through Cuisance, and then Grabels as well had his shot well saved by Alex Merritt there, as it was still 0-0. But all the chances in the first half fell to the Blades. I loved it from Harris as well. Teased his man finding David Turnbull, but as Scott fires over, as it was still 0-0 as we entered the second half. We created loads of chances in the first half, but quite frankly, the finishing just simply wasn't there. 4 minutes after the restart, Cuisance goes close once again. This time his shot from range just going just wide the post and behind for a goal kick. However, just past the hour mark, I can't believe it, but it's happened again. Those crosses to the box, man. They are almost impossible to defend on this new patch at times. Corner whipped into the centre, and Dan Axel Zagadou. I mean, to be fair, the French centre-half is 6'5", so it's no surprise he wins this ball in the air, but beats Tony in the aerial duel and heads it past Sam Hill, and you can see our number 43 put his hands to his head. One chance, one goal, and Wolfsburg had the lead. And at this point right here, you guys know I don't rage, I don't get angry, that's not really me. I get frustrated every now and then, but certainly don't rage. But at this point, I was beginning to rage. We'd been in poor form, and I was starting to get really, really angry and really aggressive. So a few minutes later, I felt if we don't get a goal back here, we're just going to lose this tie, and it's as simple as that. We need an away goal tonight, and as Bells has played the ball here, lovely first touch to get around this man, and the finish as well. I just put the power on it and said, just smack it, Bells, smack it, which he does. Finds the top corner as I'm jumping for joy on the sidelines. Finally, after missing a hatful of chances in the first half, we get ourselves the leveller and that crucial away goal as the game ends up finishing Wolfsburg 1, Sheffield United 1. Should have won the game, had the chances, but I guess we just got to keep it into perspective. It means heading back to Bramwell Lane for the second leg in a week's time, which you'll see in the next episode. If we keep a clean sheet in Yorkshire, we'll be through to the Europa League final. Easy said and done though, against a side that scored 7 goals in the last round. But that was today's episode of Career Mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy today's episode, please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and do not miss the next episode. It's got 2 massive games as we take on relegation threat and Aston Villa away at Villa Park, and the second leg against Wolfsburg.